Welcome back, everyone, to another Onward VRML cast. I am your host, TheSkyJoker, and I am actually joined by my co-caster here, Ramen. Ramen, how are you doing tonight? I am doing well. Let me make sure you're actually going to come through here. Go ahead and do that intro one more time.
I'm doing pretty well.
There we go.
Test.
Yep, you
I
are
know
coming
Trip always
through
gets it
just
wrong.
fine. So let me reset the scoreboard. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We had some technical issues coming in here, but we should be okay now. Let me make sure we have the casters properly showing. Ramen, while I'm doing this, let's go and talk about our bans that were coming out with these two teams.
So, Los Sobros coming out and banning, I do believe, Sand. Sand being one of those maps that, I mean, you've seen a lot of it banned. So many teams, even Mayhem banning it. I think it's just because of that inexperience, that lack of play on the actual map, because it's such a new map, as custom to the new map pool this season. We're going to be having 3 map pools this season, all changing, maps going in and out, some custom, built by actual players. On Cold Steel side, we're going to be banning Suburbia, 2 very small maps, both banned. So I'm interested to see if we're going to be seeing maybe some downfall. Love me some downfall.
I just want to mention the very first map that we're starting on, already a unique one, being Bazaar Night. This is going to be kind of interesting to try and cast on, trying out this new night vision type setup that the casting deck has. How do you think this is going to affect the dynamics of play here?
So I definitely think a lot of dark corners, especially with the lighting, it's going to be a little bit more... I think they're going to have to play it a lot more slow, just because of that like extra edge that Volk has hiding in those shadows.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely going to be very Volk-sided with all the dark corners. We almost got the deck set up, but they are hopping into round number 1. So let's go ahead and get into that gameplay view. Looks like my transitions are working, so we should not miss any of the actions. If any of the audio is off, please let me know, and I will try and fix that as soon as possible. But here we go into round number 1.
Does look like we're going to be getting a quick spawn coming out. Very aggressive push, taking that southwest courtyard. Jerp and Shrieking on the south push. We got one guy covering the south, while the rest are kind of just spread out on objective, and one in that northeast outskirts area.
Los Sobros playing very far from the objective. It's very risky. Could result in a cap if they're not quick on their rotations. And the
Does
trade.
look like Jerp, yeah, Jerp and Big Daddy are gonna trade. Big Daddy coming up on top. He's gonna be able to get the res. Now I would like to point out though, Shrieking was able to call out Neighbor. He knows that he's down on the south. He knows to be careful here.
Well, and the unfortunate TK resulting possibly from the fact that we are in a night map. Hard to identify your targets properly.
TK?
And that's going to help him out. Yeah. I saw a red down red.
No, Neighbor killed...
Oh, it was a revive. I'm sorry. That was a revive.
Yeah, that was a
come
revive.
out right as the shots came out. So I thought it was a TK.
Yeah, we did get a res there onto LJ, but that's not going to matter because Shrieking's going to take him out.
And Neeks is slowly sneaking his way into the objective area here with Stubbler to back him up.
Expediter is going to be the one to stop this approach if he can.
They actually have a really good pinch setup here if Shrieking Geek is prepared for the Neighbor's position.
He should know that he's down in the south, because I remember hearing him call it out at the beginning.
Oh, an
Expediter's going to find Stubber.
Yes. Very key pickup here. Gonna have to deal with Ninx next, though.
Yeah, he just gave away his position. Expediter in a pretty common spot. Ninx might be able to catch him out. Gonna have to worry about Mexican. or sorry, Executioner.
Executioner. He does pick him up. Executioner getting really peaky on the rotations. And now it's just a 2v2.
Neighbor might try to go for the rotate back onto objective. Shriek might catch him out here. No, but he's going to get back onto objective. Shriek and Nink's both setting up for a good pinch here. Shrieking's walking out in the open, though. He's got to be careful here.
The neighbor
think
right
Nink's-
next to each other in the trade.
Ooh, yeah. Nice trade there. Setting up. Shrieking might be able to push. Or Expediter could go for that revive. It's a little bit risky. Shrieking might catch him out there.
3 minutes on the clock. Shrieking has plenty of time to make some rotations, kind of play the mind game here.
I do like his iron sights. Pretty
Interesting
pretty
decision.
uncommon thing on. Yeah, it's a pretty uncommon thing on. I mean, on like smaller maps, I get iron sights, but on a map like this size, it's a little bit more interesting.
Well, if I recall correctly, Shrieking has been experimenting with 12x's, and there's a pattern amongst people who use 12x scopes to run iron
Oh.
sights.
Expediter finds the revive onto Neighbor. So it's going to bring it up to a 2v1. Shrieking now with 2 minutes left on the clock. But yeah, that is a true thing. I mean, if you're learning how to snipe, you get into those CQB situations, you really don't have time to be aiming down your sights, especially since it's so magnified.
It is if you can run it, it is definitely a good thing to do, as it saves you points that you can then spend on body armor, utility, that sort of thing. So if you can pull it off, it's definitely a good skill.
I think Shrieking might try and go in this little alley right here. It's got to be careful of Neighbor, but Expediter's leaving himself a little exposed on the side.
I don't think Shrieking has a good kill count with all the trades that came out.
Oh, looks like he's going to try and go in for the building approach. Will Neighbor be able to hear him? He's kind of set up for like a two-piece right here. He swings this corner, he might be able to get Neighbor peek right over. Depends how fast Expediter can react.
And the
Oh, he
perfect
swings.
two-piece.
Yeah.
What a transition there. Let's see if we can actually view that replay. Let's see if it'll play it properly. That was a beautiful, beautiful finish for Shrieking Geek on the 1v2. Straight onto objective, and the replay did play properly. Impressive, considering all the issues we've been having. Hop back into that scoreboard and give Cold Steel, or at least hopefully, give them the point that they deserve here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a risky play being so exposed to a side where if one guy goes down, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, no. And it's interesting because Los Sobros, they had the objective locked down. I just feel like they positioned themselves too close together and weren't watching enough angles, which allowed Shrieking to kind of transition back and forth. And leading up to that, I mean, there were just so many trades. It's so hard to deal with the defending players being in these dark corners and these dark spaces.
I will say two things. First of all, I think, I forget who is the last alive. I think it was Expediter. Was it Expediter?
No. Last live was Expediter and
Shrieking, yeah.
Yes,
so
yes.
Expediter had that good position by the shed. I don't know why he really moved. I guess to get the revive is a little bit risky going back, but if he had gone back, they would have had like perfect cross angles on the objective. But yeah, it's just a little bit rough seeing that, because you're right next to each other, you think that you got each other's backs, and then one guy goes down and that all falls apart.
For sure. And here we are hopping into round number 2. Let's see if these teams start to adapt each other. And something we didn't really touch on that due to, the rush through the intro here, but Los Sobros is actually kind of a skeleton team almost of what used to be Danglers. So this is kind of like a comeback for them almost into this next season or into season 11. Cold Steel being an old team from previous seasons that took a break in season 10. They actually splintered off, Shrieking Geek going to Animal House, and I believe Nink's also going to Animal House. They have actually just returned back to Cold Steel for this season 11. So this is kind of almost like a old veteran team matchup here. Kind of a comeback matchup for the two teams.
Careful what you say to Shrieking my ban you if you say something offensive about him. Since he is a League mod.
League moderator. Go ahead, take a look at Shrieking here, holding this a really interesting angle, holding into this window. And he has night vision, but he isn't using it. Interesting choice there.
I think it's just because, I mean, this angle is just so lit up. It might be a little bit more difficult with just the solid green tint trying to...
See.
Oh, there's some shooting going on. I don't know what he's shooting at. Maybe a possible TK on the boned? Or maybe it's just some pre-fire.
Los Sobros taking it really slow. They're trying to methodically surround the objective, it looks like. They're taking it a lot slower than Cold Steel did.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot more spread out offense. You got two guys pushing from the north. Oh.
Bone 10 picks up Jerp. Only downs him, though, and the call-out's coming out. Ninx is ready for the assist there, but the confirm does come out. Oh, and the TK.
Ooh, a team kill. Oh, no. You hate to see it.
An actual team kill this time. Gonna even things up for Cold Steel. It's definitely gonna help. And the rest of Cold Steel is just staying really tucked on this objective. They're gonna let Los Sobros, they're gonna give them a lot of real estate to surround the objective, which could prove fatal for them, as there are no defenders looking outward.
Yeah, that south opening up can definitely be a big problem for Cold Steel.
Actually, I stand corrected. Also Minx is looking outward to the south.
Yeah, he is, but I mean, how common of a spot is just being in these buildings? They're gonna... Oh, wait, no. Oh, I kind of like his...
Yes, he is
actually outside the window.
Yeah, it's a really cheeky angle. But he's watching it pretty late. Chances are they're not going to go that far south, and they're going to cut in early before Nink sees them.
That is true, and you also have to be careful of anybody pushing... Cause
Expediter's challenging the objective here.
Expediter kind of teasing all the defense with some smokes. Seeing if anybody will... I think he's just trying to get some information.
He might go for the smoke cap.
Oh. Yeah, he's got tablet out.
Oh, the smoke went away. Ran out of time for that one.
Maybe
now he's about to challenge the doctor.
Oh, no, Shrieking. He finds... Yeah.
-1.
And he goes for the rotation to kind of fake out the defense. Down to a 4v3 now. The offense still surrounding this objective.
It looks like Daddy and Stubler might be having some contesting right here as LJ slowly starts to creep down this corridor.
Oh, and the trade from Neighbor and the Doctor.
On my side, north side.
Big Daddy going right up to Stubler here. He should know about the corner.
Yeah, it is a pretty common spot. It does look like he was going to go for the... Oh, and he catches him, but only downs him. Needs to finish him off. There he goes. Now down to a 2v2. Ninx and...
Oh, Mexicutioner picks up Ninx. And Expediter picks up Stubler. The last two remaining defenders getting picked off in their rotations. Los Sobros picking up their own point.
Yeah, I think these rounds are definitely getting really close together. It's coming down to these 2v2s, 2v1s. It's definitely a close game. Equally matched teams here.
you would think that that objective would be more Volk-based, considering how constrained it is and you just have to defend the certain points of entry. But it really seems like it's more Marsoc-based because, like we mentioned, Marsoc is able to really surround that courtyard. And as long as they're in sync, they can attack from multiple angles at the same time. The defense is kind of forced to look inwards.
Yeah, it's very difficult to escape, especially going north if you're on defense here, because these quick spawns allow you to be able to watch the south cross. Now, some people are able to cross south because of the wall back there, but also you can't really go north. You're really just confined to this southeast area. All the attackers are able to surround you and just kind of pinch you in here, and it can get very dangerous.
For sure, and we are moving just from arguably one Marsoc objective to another. The most volatile objective, I would say, in all of Onward coming up here, the Coyote objective. Everyone's favorites.
It is definitely my favorite. I'm hoping to see a cap. Okay, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the most capped objectives.
Oh, for sure. It's so high octane of an objective, and you can see the fear in the eyes of any defenders if they're the last ones up, having to just run around every which way to check this objective.
I'm hoping to see a Quokka here, like just run up to objective, especially since it's night. It's pretty hard to see your enemy. Tell them different from your allies. I mean, somebody could just run up here if nobody's watching it and get the cap. Does look
we
like
are seeing some
Expediter.
heavy aggression from Cold Steel right
Yeah.
onto Expediter's position here in the west.
Yeah, it does look like Expediter is going to be able to contest here. You got to be careful of his position. Really tucked in here.
They are just swarming the west side of the map here.
Expediter finds a pick onto Ninx. Rotating out. Doctor starts throwing some pre-fire down towards Boned, but he's going to tuck in. Not going to be able to find the pick.
Trying to get a better angle here. Bone 10 looking down the really common angle, but he actually missed two of the attackers. Gotta wonder if they're going to be ready for that.
LJ's got an angle like right on to Stubler if he pushes out too far. You can see this laser right here. Just look like he might try and push this. Just gotta be really careful.
Yeah, he is just inches away from being thrown into that line, but he's going to rotate off and link up with the Doctor. Looks like they're going to run south.
Jerp gets shot at by Mexicutioner all the way on the north, too. They got right past those north defenders. Executioner going to opt for the rotate.
Yeah, Los Sobros playing really guerrilla warfare. They take some shots and then move, which is a smart thing to do. They're playing really off of this objective, though, from what you would expect for an objective like Kiot.
Does look like Mexicutioner, though, even if he's off objective, might... Oh, he does call out Doctor and Stubler. Only seeing one, though. He's going to be peeking this angle, waiting for them to peek.
Grenade doesn't quite make it far enough here.
He's taking shots at nothing. Just, I think he might have thought he saw something. Give away a position, though.
And I think the neighbor Bo 10 almost shot each other. Executioner picks up Stubler trying to make the cross, and then Expediter picks up Jerk, gets refragged by Shrieking Geek instantly after. Shrieking now looking for Executioner. Is down to a 2.5v4. Gonna be a tough one for Cold Steel to come back from.
Does look like the revive might be coming out, though.
That's gonna...
Doctor's on this corner. He doesn't really see any enemies. He's gonna slowly inch his way to Stubler. Is that right? Yes, sir.
Stubler. Executioner just pre-firing towards Shrieking's position. Not quite sure exactly where he's at.
Very nice flash from Boned onto Shrieking.
Yeah, he's not going to react off of it, though.
Still pretty beautiful. That had been a nade, that would have definitely got him.
Oh, for sure. I have to split our attention here over to the Doctor and Stubbler as well to see how they're making their approach.
I'm just saying, Executioner is out for blood right now.
He is very tunnel visioned on this. He's not going to be ready for the two approaching him from the rear. Oh, as I
But
say
he
that,
does
he
look
actually
back.
swings. It's all going to come down
Oh,
to
and
timing here.
they're just barely missing each other. You see one laser pop out. Oh, and Stubbler's gonna find the pick on the Executioner. Oh.
Bone 10 then picks up Shrieking Geek. Los Sobros still maintaining the numbers advantage, now down to a 3v2, and they know where the attack is coming from now.
LJ's gonna take shots on the Stubbler. He's gonna find him as he tries to cross. Doctor
Now down to just Doctor.
He's deciding to rotate off of this. I mean, Los Sobros, they're being really unpredictable right now. I mean, their defense is everywhere. You can't turn a corner and not expect them to be there because, I mean, they're just moving around so much, and it's really being an advantage for them. As I say that, though, LJ might get picked off in the back.
Yeah, Cold Steel definitely doesn't have a lot of information to go off of. As anytime they hear a shot, the person moves. Now down to a 1v2. Not impossible, but with under 60 seconds, it's not going to be easy either.
Like I said, these teams keep on coming down to the 1v2s. These stressful situations. Only 46 seconds left. Doctor's got to push this. He's got plenty of time. I mean, in the position that he's at, he can't rotate or anything. But, I mean, he's got time to take it a little bit slow.
And the 30 seconds just beeped on his watch, so he is aware there's not a lot of time left.
Bone getting a little bit antsy.
He's going to pull out the tablet in the danger zone.
Ooh.
And runs in, tablet out, no gun, and gets punished for it. Los Sobros picking up their next point.
I applaud the effort. You know, I mean, with those 26 seconds left, though, you got to run in there and expect whatever. I mean, you do have time to do, like, maybe push through a different door, or maybe crouch through. But then again, the attackers might be on all the way in northwest and just trying to wait you out. So who knows?
Yeah, for sure. And Cold Steel tried to get the objective surrounded. I think they were just a little bit out of sync, and Los Sobros did a really, really good job at that guerrilla warfare. Get a pick, move, get a pick, move, and they were just constantly rotating. It was risky because they could get caught on those rotations, but they did it well. They did it smart, and they ensured that they stayed safe during those rotations, and they always had each other's back.
Yeah, Los Sobros is definitely taking advantage of Cold Steel's, like, I wouldn't say slow, but definitely rotating play style, where they take it they're a little bit slower on those pushes so they can get a little bit more pushed out, more into their comfort zone of running around and being able to just peek those angles when Cold Steel are the ones rotating, and being able to pick them off on those pushes because they don't expect them there.
Yeah, for sure. Taking a quick look at the scoreboard here, we've got a pretty even kill spread on both teams, with the exceptions of Shrieking Geek and Expediter coming out with the 5-5 kills here. Definitely the powerhouses on this map so far.
If only Shrieking had a revive, it would have been perfect.
As we hop into round number 4 here, maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to pick up that revive. And Los Sobros, again, being former Danglers from what I understand, are well known for their kind of crazy plays. So we'll see if they pull one out here for an objective like Kayat.
Maybe they, I mean, maybe they do the cap. They could win this right now if they do the cap. I mean, that's 2 points right there. That'll bring them to 4, winning the map.
They're
They're
doing
going
an
for a
exact
heavy.
mirrored push that Cold Steel did.
Well, Cold Steel still had some people on that north. I think Los Sobros is just very heavy 5-man, able to get the refrag if possible, and Expediter gets a pick on the Stubbler.
Taking a look at the defense here, they are very stacked inside of the market area. They're solely focused on keeping anybody from pushing inside.
I'm a little confused on what Jerp's doing, but
Yeah, Jerp's in a weird position here, proning out
I'm
way out in the market.
yeah, it's a little bit of a crazy play, but it might just be what pays off. High risk, high reward. Who knows?
It's one of those donkey space positions, you know, it works because it's unexpected. See if that's the case.
Flash comes out. I don't think it got Neighbor. Jerp's gonna peek in over the wall. I think it did get Neighbor because he didn't see Jerp. Jerp's looking for the pick. He's looking at this
So
wall.
close. Doctor picks up Big Daddy. And then Shrieking picks up Neighbor from Kayat. Oh, what looked like a really solid attack has now turned into a 3v4 as they lost 2, one after another.
Doc, did you say you have a kill? I think Doc has a kill, yeah.
Expediter can hear these Shrieking and Ninx both talking in here. Jerp in a Oh, the team kill comes out from Executioner onto Expediter.
I gotta wonder
Yikes.
why Executioner thought there'd be an enemy there as they were all together the whole time.
Do a 5-man push and then this happens. I mean, hate to see it.
Unfortunate. Things you see in Onward. You see it at all levels of play. Both of these teams, they've got the nerves going, the blood pumping, the adrenaline rushes. It's all happening. They're both here to win.
I mean, to be fair, the stairs are pretty dark. I'll give them that. There was an enemy over here. So, I mean, is it really unexpected?
Oh, that would have been a
Nate comes
beautiful
out.
frag if it was
Oh.
cooked a little bit longer.
Executioner taking some shots. He's going to find Shrieking.
He is just one smoke away from dying. Oh, and the
And
trade
Boned is
comes
going to find
out.
the pick. Or the trade, sorry. Ninx and Jerp now both focused on this backside. Ooh, and he runs right into Ninx. And Ninx is going to get the pick, bring it to 2-2.
Wow,
Really
what
back
a
and forth
beautiful
game right
end.
here.
Oh, yes, for sure. Both defenses winning the Kayat objective. Not something you see too often.
Have they won both? They won both Marsoc rounds the first time, first objective, and then both
How they
Volk
win the two
rounds the
Volk
next.
rounds. These two teams are pretty evenly matched, honestly. They're both making very aggressive plays early and then slowing down. And I think that's kind of throwing off the alternating teams. The defenses on this one, in this case, were really structured. They were hold down. Jerp was in a really odd position, but it paid off.
Weird spot, yeah. I've never seen that used before. Mainly because, for those of you who don't know, the wood sheds, or whatever, stalls, the wood stalls
Yes.
can get, they're penetrable, so they can get shot by bullets, and will still travel through them. So it's not very common spot, especially since Blue Room looks right at it. You have a bunch of other spots that see right to it, but I mean, high risk, high reward, and it definitely showed that.
Yeah, it was definitely risky. He didn't necessarily get any major picks there, but he was able to rotate off of it safely, and I think that's what effectively got them towards the end there.
I mean, he was able to hold off a whole side if they did try to rotate around to the west. I mean, It was a pretty good spot since he didn't get picked off, but I don't. Low
Expediter
Sobros
and Streaking
wasn't
still
really-
tied for top fragger here on this map so far. As we
I
hop
mean,
into
I'm
the
gonna
next
have to
round.
give it to Expediter just because of that one revive. You gotta give it to the team player.
And 6
Though
minutes are off.
2-2, another capable objective. I just want to see it, man. Even if it's a mono cap.
Being the West Market objective, yes, a very capable objective, as there's so many different angles you can slip on in there.
Pretty common defense coming out from Los Sobros. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of forward aggression coming out from them. A little bit of getting a little peaky. I know Ninx is here in LJ right now. Ooh, and they're going to find the trade. Ninx coming out only downed. Now down to a 4.5v4. Ninx might be able to get revived here.
Yeah, Cold Steel should have a safe approach to Ninx to pull that off.
Some smokes in the wall. I don't think that's where they want to go, but
An interesting position. They definitely wanted to clear out that building.
smoke that window, make sure they can make the
Yeah.
cross.
Exactly, exactly. It's tactical.
He's down. He's down.
Jerp finds the headshot onto Neighbor.
A key pickup. Stubbler picking up one of his own. Only downing him, though. Could be revived by Bone 10 here.
Defense is falling a little bit apart here as now Bone has to move around to OBJ. Executioner, if he gets taken out here, it's open for a cap.
Yeah, it's going to be key here. Shrieking Geek and Jerp making their way in the north. Going to have to contest with Bone 10 here.
If Boned or Executioner goes down, it opens up for a cap, so you got to be really careful, especially on this OBJ. And as I say that, Shrieking kills Boned. OBJ is completely open from the backside, but no. Doctor is going to find the pick onto Executioner, and that's going to bring it to 3-2, Cold Steel up.
Cold Steel with a beautiful attack strategy there. They came in from all angles, all possible approaches. They got the very key picks that they needed to get in order to force the defense to rotate around and check every possible angle they could. And they just I can't even talk. They pulled them apart. Can't even talk.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very well played offense from Cold Steel right there. 5 up, I do think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, 4.5. Actually, they did get the
No,
revive,
they
so
did,
5
they
up.
got
Yep.
they got Ninx up. So I mean, yeah,
It was
very nice
a 5
offense.
up in the end.
Very well pushed. They had that pinch on the north just in case anybody in the northeast went down. And I mean, yeah, that was beautifully played.
I really liked how in sync they were. They played less like individuals, and they focused on the teamwork, and they focused on supporting each other on their attack strategy angles.
Who needs teamwork?
Yeah, what is teamwork? Oh, let's make sure that the scoreboard is now working properly. Looks like we are missing the beautiful shadow of Ramen. Let's see if we can fix that.
My beautiful shadow.
You don't have a shadow, you just have a picture frame. Congratulations.
Nice. Guys, turns out I'm actually a ghost. So
Your secret has been revealed as we hop into round
They
number
went to go-
6 here.
they went to go take the picture, but you know, since I'm only a bowl of ramen, I was just out of the picture, and the picture
You weren't
was set
tall
too high.
enough.
They didn't really want to change it. Yeah, I wasn't tall enough. Okay, I get it. I'm like 5'6", dude.
Tisk,
Hey,
tisk.
I'm like almost taller than shoot, what's his name? Tom
almost
something.
just not enough.
No, put your head down.
Take a look at this map here to see how these guys are spreading out. And Los Sobros moving way up very quickly.
East, 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 east.
Shrieking almost find the pick on to Executioner, but he was a little too fast. Shrieking at a pretty nice spot here. Able to watch this entire north side. Stubler in a pretty nice spot himself in this back area laying down. Watching right above, or sorry, not right above, but right on top of the stairs. If anybody wants to peek over top of that.
Bone 10's gonna have to be really careful crossing this alleyway, and as I say that, he almost gets picked off, getting wounded, requiring the use of a syringe there.
Yeah, I mean, even if you only tag them, that syringe is key, because if they get tagged again, they're gonna either have to ask for a syringe, borrow it off a dead enemy, or just walk around. But Bone does find the pick onto the doctor. Who said back to.
Just realized everything was still broken. I had the wrong chat up. I was seeing chat from VRML 3, and I was super
Nice.
confused. So we are now viewing the correct chat. I just saw a random C4 on a pole as Jerp picks up the neighbor. I want to take
Where's the
another look at
C4?
that C4 here.
Where's
Right
the
behind
C4?
Stubler picks up Expediter. It's right behind Shrieking Geek on a pole. On one. Oh, and the TK once again. Big Daddy onto Boned. Another
Those
TK.
nerves. Those nerves, man. They'll get to you, especially in a 2-3 situation where, I mean, if you lose this one, you lose the map. And that's one more step for the enemy to win the series.
For sure, and you can see it coming out here. You got to
Seems-
wonder, this is Cold Steel's pick, and I wonder if forcing them to play in this night mode was part of their strategy, and maybe they were banking on the possibility of team kills.
I will say Ninx, I think, might hear LJ, because, I mean, even though you're crouching, sometimes you still make that audio. If he peeks over top, he's got to be careful here. He is watching this corner. He's going to peek around his... Oh! Chirp, though! Gets... They both pinch him on that corner and able to get the pick.
And Cold
that
Steel
was-
taking the first map of the series 4-2 against Los Sobros. I'm curious to see where Los Sobros is going to take Cold Steel now.
That was a good defensive pinch, though, I would like to point out. Both Ninx was peeking over that window, his laser right on his head, and then Jerp crawling in the back of Bazaar, or Mini Market, and finding that pick onto him. It's pretty well played teamwork there.
My
does
deck
look
has
like-
decided to do some weird stuff, but...
I think we might be rehosting.
Oh, you know what
You
that
know
means.
what that means.
Haha, we will return shortly for a custom map. Put your predictions in chat. USS Quest, I believe. Actually, I believe Sand was banned, so it is USS
Yes,
Quest.
it's just only USS Quest.
Yep, so we are going to return back here shortly. Do not go far. Make sure to catch all the action on the other two VRMLs while you wait. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. And again, you guessed it, considering the other one was banned, USS Quest is going to be at map number 2. Ramen, any predictions based on what we saw in the first map? Yeah, I expect a lot more movement on a map like this. I think they're going to be bouncing around containers a lot more. I think we're going to see some really spread out positions. But I feel like from Los Sobros specifically, I think they're going to be a little bit more... Oh, what's the word? I think they're going to be less careful. I think they're going to be more aggressive than we saw in Bazaar. And I think they're just going to go nuts on a map like this. They definitely enjoy that almost peacekeeper type style of just pushing together as a team and causing as much chaos amongst their path as they can.
You want to see really well-coordinated aggression come out from a team. I mean, they're really good at that.
Yes, for sure. They like pushing. They like rotating. And I'm just really interested to see if Cold Steel is going to be able to counter that sort of play style on this map.
Yeah, we all know beginners also with that very, very well done aggression. They're really good at aggression. I mean, I see them push always before the first minute.
We're still waiting on the 5th from Cold Steel, possibly a rotation or a drop. I am getting word from one of the players. Yeah, just waiting on the 5th. Looks like a download that needs to happen, and then we'll be right back in the action. So we're going to cut into a quick intermission in case that takes a little bit longer than it should. In the meantime, be sure to tune in to Onward VRML 1 and 3 for the action happening there, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, as we hop in for realsies this time. Map number 2, round 1.
The round already kicking off, and some early smokes coming out. Some a little bit laid back pushes with Executioner actually on the east side push, getting very aggressive with the flash.
Derp is all the way up here by himself, gets picked off by Big Daddy, peeking the corner very fast. And Stubbler and Executioner about to get into it. Executioner comes on top. The Doctor with the instant refrag.
Yeah, I gotta be careful just running around like that. But tons of smokes going out onto objective. I didn't even realize this. Ninx just pre-firing randomly around. LJ's
Big Daddy's gonna sneak
come
around the
this
back.
corner.
Oh, and he had his tablet out once again. Ninx picking up 2, successfully defending that objective. Down to a 2v2. The Neighbor and Expediter gonna be the next one to contest Ninx.
Ninx getting a little bit pushy, realized that he really just needs to stay on this side.
And the
protect
trade
anybody from
comes
getting
out.
That smoke.
Instant
Ninx,
confirm from Ninx.
he is doing some business on this objective. I mean, he's gonna get the confirm coming down to a 1v1. Already 2 minutes in, barely 2 minutes into the round, and Ninx swings and gets a pick on the Neighbor.
Wow. Ninx 1 kill away from the ace. A beautiful performance and a great defense from Cold Steel, taking them to their first point victory on map number 2.
Round over in a minute and a half. Definitely a change of pace from Bizarre.
For sure. Like I suspected, Los Sobros feeling that aggressive adrenaline, pushing them forward through these containers, and they won some pretty key corner peaks, but Cold Steel had some really good supporting angles, was able to get the good refrags, and then Ninx just there, denying any approach to that objective.
Yeah, those smokes, I mean, they were landing right on objective. They were going where they needed to, but Ninx just God mode up here, just swinging and swinging all around these sandbags, getting those picks. I mean, beautiful play by him.
Yeah, very impressive. It looks like we had a drop or a rotation
Shrieking
from Cold
again.
Steel. Yeah, shrieking.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and wait for him to show up, and let's actually hop into the gameplay so we can take a look at the leaderboard here. Once again, Ninx Dragon with the 4-piece, the Doctor denying him the 5-man ace.
Hate to see
How
it.
dare he?
I mean, to be fair, at this point in the game, I think a lot of newer players especially need to realize that it isn't all about KD. I mean, yes, it can sometimes, like just show that you're doing a good job, but if you're winning or losing, I mean, like Ninx did right there, he absolutely was the star of that round. He definitely did really good for his team there, but
A big part of it was he was
Yeah.
there for the team, and
Yeah.
he had his teammates there to support him, and his team going down told him exactly where the enemies were. So basically
Yeah.
bait. It's all about the team.
even if you don't have kills, you are still useful for info. You can still be useful to your team in many different ways. So
It could be like Theta and just pre-fire everything and make the enemy scared. So that way James
Yeah.
can run up and cap.
Jerp looking for the long peek onto anybody going catwalk. Boned is gonna take shots at him. Jerp's not gonna be able to find the peek onto him. Shrieking trying to push this east side.
Oh,
And
and the trade.
Executioner really loving this east side push.
The defense playing really far out from the objective. Stubbler game picked up by Bone 10. Ninx Dragons and Expediter have just been dancing around the center for a minute here. Expediter's gonna get aggressive. Oh, barely missing him, but the Doctor with a great supporting angle stops that aggression.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to shut him down, shut down that aggression. Doctor, if he peeks his corner, nobody's actually watching the side. He might be able to find the pick onto neighbor. Bone and Jerp are gonna trade, bringing it down to a 2v2.
The Doctor and Nink's gonna have to challenge Daddy and Neighbor to the objective.
I think LJ, not really, if he keeps on continuing towards objective, he might get picked off by Doctor, but he's not really watching over here. Doctor can move over here.
This is the point where Cold Steel needs to just stop and wait. Let the defense rotate, but as I say that, the Doctor's getting very aggressive. The flashbang not going to find anybody, and the trade comes out. Cold Steel taking their next point. A beautiful show of force and an answer back to Los Sobros' aggression. I think Los Sobros had the upper hand at the beginning, but Cold Steel did a really good job at just taking a breath, getting the refrags, and then waiting for the most opportune moments to check the angles. And it worked. Los Sobros just wasn't quite patient enough. It looks like we have lost our co-caster, leaving me all by my lonesome. Fortunate, hopefully he is able to return soon. But while we wait, let's go ahead and take another look at that scoreboard, get away from that annoying objective over there, and hop into the gameplay view. Yeah, look at this. A pretty even kill spread amongst Los Sobros, but then Cold Steel, again, holding their momentum from round one, maintaining that win streak that they've started. We'll see if they, again, continue that into this next defense as we move objectives. Go ahead and take a look at the next objective position being in this, on the other side of the ship, the southwest by these concretes. The danger zone here is going to be this red container that they can cap inside of. So they're going to have to be keen on watching that. We know Los Sobros is really hungry for those caps. And Cold Steel's going to have to be prepared for it.
Just want to see it cap this game. Let me have my dream.
Looks like our precious co-caster has returned back to us.
Yeah, sorry, I was having a little bit of internet difficulties.
All the difficulties today. Shrieking Stubbler getting aggressive over here in the red lane. Executioner and Big Daddy gonna contest them. The shots miss in a flashbang.
I would like to point out Executioner has been on this east approach every single round. There hasn't been a single round where he hasn't been on this push. Jert finds a pick onto Boned, and Expediter is going to find the quick revive back, or sorry, refrag onto
He's straight ahead, you know.
Jerp.
Down to a 4v4 now.
Executioner
getting aggressive right onto Shrieking.
Wow. He's got to be careful of Stubbler here, but he peeks the corner. Bringing it to a 2v4.
A beautiful two-piece. It looks like we have an instant replay inside of an instant replay over there. And Neighbor picking up the Doctor. Now gonna have to deal with Ninks, and they successfully tear apart the Cold Steel defense.
Wow. Wow.
I mean,
that was...
Sobros just rushed into every angle they could and just started laying the hate onto the Cold Steel defense. Cold Steel getting caught on every rotation they tried to make. Executioner did a really good job at those corner peaks too, onto, I believe, who was over there? Stubbler and Shrieking, I believe.
Yeah, Stubbler and Shrieking were over in that corner. Shrieking, the first one going down. I don't know what was actually happening there. He was peeking through that little crack, but didn't hear the footsteps right next to him, or maybe he thought it was his teammate. Came right.
I think Executioner was just too aggressive, and they weren't prepared for it.
That's surprising. I mean, Executioner is their top, most aggressive player, I'd say. He's been playing aggressive He's been playing aggressive this entire game. We saw it on Bizarre. He was pushing around on that defense. He was getting up in Cold Steel's face. I mean, some very nice aggression coming out from him tonight. Very happy to see it.
Yeah, I'm really liking all of these plays. And I want to thank all of our sponsors for making it possible for us to come out here and witness these plays. This is the exciting Onward action that we want to see. And we are hopping in to the next round, so let's make sure our scoreboard is down so nobody has to squint to view everything as we hop in to round number 4. The defense is instantly spreading out here. Gonna try and deny any aggressive pushes. We got smoke right onto the objective early on. Shrieking Geek about to run into Executioner and Big Daddy. Getting very aggressive down this red lane. Shrieking Geek appears to be ready for it. He's got the utility ready to throw. The trade comes out from Jerp and the neighbor. Shrieking Executioner. Executioner picks up Shrieking. I don't think he was fully prepared for somebody so close. Nink's Dragon and Big Daddy now trading. And the Doctor looking for one of his own. And another trade. Executioner and Stubbler trade after trade. The Doctor now pushing straight in. The last one up on Cold Steel against 3 members of Los Sobros. Not going to be an easy task. He has the drum mag. He has the ammo. And he has the time, 5 minutes on the clock. Drops his tablet. Looks like he's not going to go for a cap. He's going to rotate back for the revive. A 2v3 is going to look more promising. However, there are 2 available revives from those trades from Los Sobros. As the Doctor finalizes one of them, Expediter almost exploiting the Doctor's rotation here. The revive is going to come out. They're going to have to get by Expediter, who's now taken up a position in the center, and he's going to continue to get aggressive. I don't think Stubbler and the Doctor are going to be ready for this.
Doctor is going to peek around here. Expediter takes some shots. He's going to try and suppress him. He's going to be able to pre-fire that corner and get him. Revive coming out.
Stubbler and David, the Big Daddy trade. I cannot talk right now. These names, man.
I just say LJ.
LJ. And the Doctor's now trying to scavenge a body and gets punished for it.
Right when he goes to throw the flash.
And Los Sobros pick up another point.
Bring it to a 2. I mean, they brought it back.
A back and forth here. Back and forth. Back and forth. Once again, coming out here. These 2 teams showing that they are very close in skill. Both of them very aggressive, very smart. They are just struggling to gain the upper hand on the other team. The clear advantage not presenting itself. I think you can kind of see both of these teams trying their hardest to adapt to each other, but at the same time, trying to not deviate from their own playstyles, which are almost the same. Sobros being a little bit more, for lack of a better word, careless, but not quite to that extreme. I think they're just being more aggressive and more kill hungry than Cold Steel is. Cold Steel is being a little bit more calculated in what they're doing. And I think that's being highlighted here in these plays.
Yeah, I
But-
definitely think. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
Los Sobros are definitely looking for those kills. They're playing very aggressive. Cold Steel trying to be as, like, trying to work with as much teamwork as they can. Try to be as coordinated as they can.
We are going to be hopping over into round number 5 here. Let's get off the scoreboard and make sure we can view all of the action.
Once I push up, I'll cover you.
This is a very close game, and if I recall correctly, most of the connoisseurs were actually voting for the way of Los Sobros to take this.
Yeah, so maybe they do make the comeback, or maybe
Wow, a very nice headshot there to instantly take out the C4 thrower.
and Executioner on this push again.
There's 2 people in lane 4 with this.
Gonna be trying to find the top of Stubbler's head. If he gets too peeky here, he might get picked off.
And the middle
C4
push of
go?
Los Sobros coming out here.
Where'd that C4 go?
It's up on top, and Big Daddy picking up Stubbler now. Still
I
going to
see
make
it.
sure these replays are working properly. They have been so far. And it's down to a 5v3. Los Sobros, the full team up. Cold Steel going to have a tough time dealing with this now. And I noticed a big difference in the Los Sobros approach. They are taking this very slow. They are being very careful. They really want to continue their momentum and bring this map back.
This east side is very, very hard to... I mean, once you lose it, it is very difficult to keep.
The trade comes out.
Just
Bones
keep under
still
control because they
resible.
can rotate it.
This is not going to be easy for the last 2 members of Cold Steel. And if they're not careful, if they get more smoke on the objective, they could go for a dangerous cap and essentially take this map and bring it to a map 3 decider.
Or also, I mean, they could just try and go for the kills and take it the safe route instead of rushing objective and trying to get that tablet out and the cap in.
They've got the numbers advantage, but as I say that, the Doctor picks up one. Big Daddy
First
looking
taking
for the
shot at
refrag.
Expediter.
Smoke's coming out. This is trying to split our attention here. Expediter picks up Jerp. The Doctor picking up Big Daddy. The objective is a little bit open. The Doctor's going to have to rotate. And the smoke's coming out. The Doctor needs to be looking to his side.
Expediter's throwing smokes onto objective. I think they might try to go for the cap. A shot
Doctor
ring
picks
out.
up one.
Doctor.
Doctor just dancing around these shots here. And the trade
And
comes
the
out.
trade. Los Sobros now
A
3-2.
beautiful attack from Los Sobros, bringing the map back to their hands as they gain the
And I
upper
think-
advantage.
I think honestly that, I mean, the way that they played deviated from the entire playstyle that they've been playing this entire game. So I'm
was so
wondering if they just,
slow.
I wonder if they were just trying to confuse them, knowing that they would try and push, and then just not actually pushing. They were taking it slow. They had that C4 there, but they were just taking it so slow that, I mean, they weren't expecting them to be all the way in the back. And
Well, I mean, these are the
slowly moving
kind of
forward.
mind games that you expect to see in this game. All sorts of back and forth. How can we confuse the other team? How can we do what they least expect? How can we play against them? And that was highlighted right there. I can only imagine that was intentional to throw off Cold Steel.
yeah, and that's another one of those things, because, I mean, with the maps, the game's been around for so long, objectives and maps rarely change, so I mean, sometimes there's new OBJs and spots to confuse people, but generally spots they're like the generic spots that people generally hang out in, and so you gotta throw them off in other ways. Different, like whether that be play super aggressive and then be super slow and methodical about your pushes, or not using util one time and then just throwing a bunch of smokes onto objective to confuse them. These are all things that teams can think about to try and throw off their enemy, even if like a push is very expected of a team.
Yeah, for sure. Once you're predictable, you are easily countered, and that's one thing you have to avoid in Onward is being predictable.
I mean, even with predictions, sometimes you do see good teams being able to, even though they get casted, they know where those spots are, they still play them very well, and because their spots are just well built enough, that doesn't really matter if they know that they're there.
Bone 10 picking up Stubbler. Executioner once again on the flank as we were talking about predictability here. Shrieking Geek is just ready for this. He knows it's going to happen this time. Shots barely missing the elbow of Executioner. Executioner
Just
with the beautiful
flash after
flashbang.
flash.
And the shots from Executioner picks up Ninx right after.
I mean,
And now the flank is on, gonna catch the Doctor off guard. He gets one, but is not enough to pick up the second. Los Sobros successfully taking map number 2, bringing this to a map 3 deciding.
This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, like that predictability from teams, but sometimes you still get caught off guard by it because they can play those spots just so well. I mean,
Yeah, you could tell Shrieking Geek knew it was going to happen, but Executioner just on point with the flashbangs, completely shut down the flank protection. And Ninx just not there enough to get the refrag.
utility is definitely one of those things that helps a lot against, I mean, just any push, even if you're on defense. I mean, he proved that.
Ability is just so powerful. Flashbangs are the way to go. And now we are moving on to, in what is my opinion, one of the best maps in the game. Definitely in my top 3, Subway. I mean, there's so much CQB on this map as there was in the last map. It's gonna be interesting to see how the teams change their dynamic from a more flat type of map to a multi-level vertical map. So we're definitely going to see some differences in playstyles here. I wonder which team it's going to favor more. I'm honestly thinking Cold Steel.
I think it can go either way. I mean, we saw, like you said, CQC. A lot of CQC here. You get a lot into that on Subway. But I mean, it can go either way. We saw USS Quest. Los Sobros came on top because of their such good aggression. But Cold Steel kind of shined on Bazaar because of their coordination. So I'm wondering.
I think that's what's going to pull Cold Steel to the top on this map, as Subway requires a lot of coordination to be effective. And I think that right there is where Cold Steel is once again going to shine against Los Sobros.
I'm going right here, going left.
Or if, I mean, maybe Los Sobros just starts playing coordinated now. Like, we have no clue what could happen here. We can only make very small predictions. Does look like Cold Steel is going to hold back a little bit watching these angles because, I mean, they don't really want a flanker. They don't want to have to deal with that. But it doesn't look like much of the defense is actually going to be moving. I mean, Executioner is going to get a little bit peaky on this corner, but everybody is just really just kind of compact on objective.
It's interesting that
one's-
Cold Steel didn't opt to send anybody in the North Alley.
North Alley is just a little too risky. In my opinion, there's C4. There's just plenty of spots I can watch that north push. I mean, I think only James's frags can
They're the only
really
thing
hold
powerful
off
enough.
the-
And shields, but those are currently banned. Executioner picks up one, picks up two with the trade.
Only downing
Stubler,
one.
Rezable.
There's one coming from the flank and I got him. And there's one in
And Executioner,
one more.
Resible 2, LJ is going to run for that revive, but he's not going to get it. Ninx with the revive on the Stubler, and Jerp is going to confirm Executioner.
Instantly
bringing it
down
to
to
a
a 4v3.
4. Or, sorry, 3v4, yeah.
Executioner and the Doctor right next to
Oh!
each other.
Yeah, Expediter and Doctor
Got your backside. Got your backside.
hold in hand.
over here on the right, I'm pretty sure.
Close right.
He's going to rotate and quickly pick up Doctor, but Doctor's only going to go down, and Ninx is going to get the pick onto him.
And a good
Ninx.
revive gonna come out here.
Yeah, you can get that revive. So you got to be careful here. Now down to a 2v3, or 2v2.5. Now 2v3. Just some
Hold
random
steel.
shots going out into the smoke.
Gonna all push this arch now into the market.
Neighbor really giving away his position here. I mean, to be fair, if they try to peek that corner, Boned is there to instantly get that refrag onto Neighbor.
Yeah, they're gonna
He's
have to
gonna-
be very careful peeking this arch.
He's gonna get one.
Next up.
Yep, the Doctor gets picked up trying to peek it. And then Jerp gets the refrag. Now down to just the Neighbor who gets that refrag, and is just down to Ninx and the Neighbor.
They both know where each other are. Ninx is gonna opt for try and just watch any peek coming out onto this corner. Neighbor, however, is just gonna stay tucked in because he knows that he was over there. I don't know if they have a good kill count or not, but
I don't wanna see-
he does have good eyes on objective as long as smokes don't go out onto it.
Ninx is actually going to challenge the corner, an interesting decision as his buddies have just all died around here.
Neighbor's got to be watching this corner. He might get picked off if they see each other, and Ninx is gonna get the pick on a Neighbor.
A beautiful finish to the first round of map number 3. Once again, the deciding round, or the deciding map for the series.
And every round matters.
Every single one. And if you look at the score line here, they are even, a 6-6 right now.
Oh, 6-6. Wow.
Yeah, Cold Steel and Los Sobros, 4-2 on Bazaar, then 2-4 on Quest. An even score line.
Crazy.
These two teams, again, showing that they are just neck and neck in skill level. There's no clear victor here. I'm still rooting for the Cold Steel though on this map. I think their playstyle is going to come out on top overall.
I think it's too hard to know because that round is just shows how close this game is going to be. I mean, these guys are equally matched. Cold Steel more methodical, that might bring them to it, but I mean, Los Sobros showing that they can play defensively. They can play methodically. They aren't always just pushing out. I mean, they didn't have any flankers on that defense. They didn't have anybody pushed out too far. Everybody was just kind of on objective.
Yeah, we'll see if Los Sobros is kind of able to come back from this and, you know, get a little bit of a moral regroup and get their heads in this. Because both of these teams fighting for the series here.
Those look like we're gonna see a two-man push up onto the south stairs. One's gonna opt
Freaking
for
Geek is going to do an
overpass.
early challenge. Oh, he's actually just going to pop a C4 and hold back. Looks like we're not going to have any early peaks with the exception of Jerp, but they did not spawn in the north, so he won't run into anybody. We're actually going to drop a camera, though, as he's going to have to deal with the neighbor. Don't want to miss this engagement.
Does look like neighbor's gonna try and peek this. Chirp's
And
gonna find the headshot onto neighbor.
a good pickup and a key one at that, denying them the north alley, keeping them from getting a solid pinch on them.
Oh, Doctor and Expediter right next to each other, actually.
Wait,
I
how
think
did the
Expediter
doctor
might
not
hear him.
see him? Oh, he didn't peek out. The
I think
doctor's
he's
just going to wait till
waiting,
Expediter moves further, and he's going to catch him in the back, I think.
making sure nobody else is gonna move up that staircase and just watching for any peek around this corner. Expediter's gonna run around and get picked off by Doctor. He's gonna pre-fire.
One down.
Nobody actually gonna be coming through there. A pretty nice spot from him.
Another good pickup, and now bringing this to a 5-3. Los Sobros a little out of sync, but Big Daddy picks up Nink's Dragon. Like he was in that little
Oh,
corner
and
right
the
there.
click coming from Doctor. You hate to see it.
Doctor needing to reload here. The grenade comes out, not going to find anybody, but Bone 10 with a nice little peek onto him gets the kill. Evening things up now to a 3v2.5. Shrieking looks like he picked up Executioner with the C4 while I was away. A solid pickup. Jerp picking up Big Daddy down to a 1.5v3. Not going to be an easy task for Boned.
I will say that, like, what could have changed? Would he have been able to actually stop that, like, west approach if, I think it was, yeah, it was Doctor, if he had loaded his gun properly. I mean, you hate to see it, because sometimes you reload so quickly that you just grab your empty mag, and then you go to shoot, and you realize, well, crap. This looks like Execution and Shrieking are going to be right next to each other.
Shrieking might go for a second, but he gets picked off with the refrag from Bone 10.
And
Shrieking
all
almost
lasers
finishing
point
it
this
out.
way. All lasers.
Bone 10 gonna do a long rotation. He's going all the way down.
He has time. I mean, with 3 minutes left, he has time to run down all the way up to the north or wherever he's planning on going.
Jerp just on the hunt for Bone 10 right now.
He has to be careful though, because, I mean, Jerp could hear Boned if Boned is either being too loud or making some funny noises through his mic. He's got to be careful. So that
Bone
he
is gonna
doesn't know that
go
he's
all
going
the
from
way
there.
to the north.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they are just all watching this south side. This could be the play here. Who knows?
Yeah, Jerp. If Bone had stayed back and just kind of waited, Jerp could have been easily picked off, and this could be a 1v1. It was really dangerous for Jerp to leave his position and rotate out.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that aggression. I mean, he's running around everywhere. But I mean, it worked out for him because now he knows, well, all of this south is clear. He has to be pushing from that north. There is no other spot that he could be besides maybe coming up from the tunnels, but I know my teammates got that. So
Yeah,
he
both
does
of
go
these
and try to
teams
beat that.
proving themselves to be very kill hungry.
Yeah, Jerp with a lot of rotations, which makes me wonder, is he going to try and rotate here? And Boned might try and actually catch him out, but no, Jerp with the peek there is going to find Bone, bringing it to a 2-0.
A beautiful,
nice-
beautiful pickup.
Jerp with the nice 6 kills.
Yeah, that was a really, really solid defense coming out there from Cold Steel. I mean, like I said, Cold Steel's doing a really good job. They were getting a little risky there at the end, like I said, with Jerb rotating all around. But overall, they're maintaining their angles, they're holding strong, and they are denying Los Sobros any activity near the objective. Los Sobros, I think, is struggling with staying in sync with each other and getting the needed picks on the defenders.
I think if Los Sobros were just a little bit more coordinated, they could go. They could shoot really high. I mean, you're already seeing their aggression is working out for them. I mean, they did really good on USS Quest, which I mean favors aggression. So I mean, if they figured out that whole teamwork, they were able to work together, they could definitely pull off a lot of great plays.
Yeah, this is a fantastic series so far between both of these older teams. I'm definitely not disappointed in what we've seen so far.
Get that.
We hop into round number 3 now.
Hello.
New objective
Hello.
too.
Hello.
Well, newish objective. We're gonna
Hello.
be
Take
getting the
drum,
quick
take
spawn
drum,
for
take
it.
the drum.
As I mean, I've seen a lot of aggression on this objective. Some people like to stay back, stay confined on that OBJ, but I don't think that's what we're gonna be seeing.
Sounds like a new play. That's what I hear.
Executioner tries to go for the quick peek.
Oh,
Expediter already on these stairs. A great position.
Oh my goodness, allowing Expediter to get here is just so dangerous.
Executioner in a pretty good spot. A little bit well known. I would say maybe if he like laid down right here, it might be a little bit harder to see him. But Executioner is gonna try to peek here. Jerp is gonna get the pick onto him as he's slowly crawling around. Wasn't really expecting that.
A
Smoke's
beautiful
coming out.
pickup.
LJ now stuck on this corner. He's gonna start throwing smokes. Boned is gonna try to shoot his hand. A flash.
Expediter picking up Ninx in that nice little ambush position. Jerp just grabbing attention, and Shriek making it into the corner. Down to a 4v4 now.
I will say, I mean, Stubler and Doctor not really playing with their team too much. They're really far pushed back, and I mean, you got to be careful of that.
The trade coming out, bringing this to now a 3v3. Oh, and Jerp comes out on top.
Yeah, Jerp's gonna find the pick. All by himself, though. His team is a little bit pushed back to actually support him. Boned knows where they're gonna be coming from. He's gotta be really careful. And Boned is gonna quickly peek up above the trash can. It's gonna find the pick onto Jerp. Now down to a 2v2. Neighbors gotta be careful if Stuber tries to push up these south stairs. Doctor's way in the back.
Yeah, this is going to be a now south stairs approach. I don't think Neighbor is fully ready. He is checking it, but he doesn't think they're going to come that way as he's not focusing on that direction.
As we say that, though, Neighbor does he's trying to peek down there. This reminds me of Bizarre. They were just they were just trading
barely
lines of
missing
sight.
each other.
Yeah, they're just barely missing each other. It's like one big game of Ring Around the Rosie. Just peekaboo, except every time you go to peek your head out, it's just nothing. Stibler is gonna try and watch. Tight angle on these stairs.
Just under 3
Doctor.
minutes. They have plenty of time. I'm wondering what the doctor. It looks like he's rotating up horseshoe. They're gonna wait for the pinch. Stubler's just waiting for the doctor to get in position. This is a smart play from Cold Steel.
I think Doctor just trying to gonna try and grab all of their attention on this north side. So leaving way for Stubler to make his way in. Stubler kind of just sitting back in this corner, just waiting for his teammate to get pushed up.
Going through a lot of pings here at the moment. Yeah. All right. So still 2v2, just under 2 minutes. Once again, Stubler has actually rotated off of his south stairs position, and he's not going to approach from there. Take a look at where he's going. He's actually going all the way north. An interesting decision to do. 90 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, definitely an interesting. Because I feel like if Doctor had pushed up, they could have had that very nice. I mean, if he had drawn neighbors' attention, that would have left so much leeway for Stubler to be able to push up those stairs.
Yeah, I'm curious on why they kind of last minute decide to do that. Stubler took the long way, all the way up north stairs, and now they're together with 60 seconds left.
Yeah, they're just both focused on this one corner. Doctor's got to be careful peeking it. Because, I mean, peek too far and you're exposing yourself to the two enemies. And Boned is really hard to see behind both these vents.
Yeah, this is
just
not
looking
going
at
to
this
be
angle.
an easy pickup here.
Maybe if he has night vision, but he doesn't have it on. So, yeah.
Bone catches the elbow of the doctor peeking that corner down to just Stubler with only 10 seconds. It's not going to be an easy task. And he doesn't see Bone 10 in the corner.
He sees his gun. He's going to be able to get boned.
But Neighbor just has to hide, and Los Sobros takes the point. Cold Steel running out of time, using up a lot of their resources on those rotations.
I think Cold Steel definitely was playing a little bit out of sync there. You had a lot of guys just kind of waiting down in that lower platform. Yeah, and then you had all the guys contesting already. Like, they were all pushed up, they were all trying to make noise, but it was just taking them forever to clear out that bottom platform that they weren't able to get pushed up. And then Stubler, I feel like he could have made that south push if Doctor had made enough noise.
That was a really solid hold coming out from Los Sobros. They just waited. They were patient. They didn't send anybody on some risky flanks. They knew the attackers had to come to them. They held their angles.
Yeah, we saw that with that first defense that came very close down to 1v1. I mean, they're definitely playing a lot different than they were starting out.
Yeah, it's almost like over time, they've gotten a little bit more mellow, Then they got really peakily aggressive on Quest, and then now they're mellowing and mellowing. Very, very interesting kind of dynamic they're pulling out. They're definitely not trying to play the same way every single time. They are almost making a conscious effort to do things differently every round or every couple of rounds.
Which, I mean, when it comes down to it, is very smart. I mean, tricking your enemy, them not knowing if you're going to be pushing an angle or you're just going to be low peeking it. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would make a difference, but it definitely does. Jerp getting the pre-fire here.
Oh, beautiful
gonna peek
flashbang,
this
but they
corner.
managed to run behind cover. Wow. That was a
He's gonna
perfect
try and-
flashbang.
Yeah, he's gonna rotate back, get behind that corner, decide not to go for that push. Nink's in a pretty interesting spot here. Not behind really any too much cover.
Make sure we get all of our camera placed so we don't miss any of the action here. And the full team of Los Sobros getting ready to challenge from the north.
I think Mexicutioner and LJ are gonna try and. I think they might be going for a rotate. Maybe Mexicutioner just kind of peeking this angle, making sure Jerp can't get back to objective. And
Yeah,
then we
Big
have the
Daddy's going
three-man
for the
push.
full rotation to the south stairs. I want to take a quick look at his perspective here. Shrieking is watching it like a hawk. Break off another camera here. We don't want to miss this engagement. Big Daddy and Shrieking. Whoever comes out on top here, that's going to be a key moment in this round. Mexicutioner picks up Jerp, going on a really odd rotation there. He had to have known that that corner would be watched.
It wasn't really needed. I mean, he was in a good spot. I don't know why he would rotate there. He basically just kind of gave up another angle onto that south, or sorry, north. So I'm very curious why he would rotate off of that.
Yeah, now we have the approaches coming in from all angles. Los Sobros, again, contrasting their usual aggression, going very slow.
Yeah, I think they're definitely trying to be a little bit more slow here to throw them off. Watching angles, because, I mean, I'm wondering if Jerp just thought, there's no way they haven't pushed this angle and they're just have a dude here watching it. Like, that's not like them. And see, stuff like that just kind of throws people off, and you got to be really careful of that.
Nink's in a really, really tight prone angle here. It's not going to be easy to deal with, but I'm afraid it's going to end in a trade from the neighbor. Oh, he checks his tablet. Really bad moment. But the neighbor stops right before he goes for the peek.
I will say, Nink's, even though he's on this corner, I mean, yeah, he's going to get a pick.
As Mexicutioner picks up Stubbler.
I got one kill here. Got one kill.
I was just a little bit cautious of the fact that he doesn't have much cover on this corner, but he's going to find the 2 picks onto it. So I'm guessing I was wrong. Shutting down that west approach, Bone's the only one alive there.
And Mexicutioner's going to challenge the objective now. They are being pinched. Cold Steel. Going to have to be wary of this, and the trade comes out. Down to a 2v2. Coming from 2 different directions.
Bone giving away his push by pre-firing.
Big Daddy also pushing.
Flash. Shrieking hears him. Who's going to come up on top? Might turn to a trade. Big Daddy's going to slowly peek the corner, but he goes for his tablet.
Now down to just Bone 10 against the 2 members of Cold Steel.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't know why you go for your tablet at such a time. I mean,
some
very
unfortunate
nice
decisions.
Smoke, though.
Wow, he is completely denied any vision in that alleyway, and he's going to rotate off of it. He's just going to let that grab their attention.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's definitely a good strategy to do is try and get your enemies to have that tunnel vision. I mean, if they're all focused on one area, you can easily pick them up from another, just with a really good rotation. Shrieking,
60
though,
seconds on the clock. He has time for this.
Shrieking, though, watching this corner, he's going to get a little bit aggressive peeking it. Shrieking, not peeking out. Oh, and it's going to end with a trade, bringing Cold Steel to a 3-point, 2-point lead.
Cold Steel once again showing their superiority in their control and their coordination on this map.
Yeah, I think definitely, since it's been so close, even though it's like 3-1, it's been a close game.
Oh, for
There haven't
sure.
really been any like 5-up wins on Subway yet. And I mean, I think their coordination is definitely, their teamwork, I think is a big thing in this game. So even though it's close, their teamwork is 100% helping them out here, even if they, I mean, we did see the one round that they did end up doing a little bit poorly on was the one round that they really were a little bit disjointed. They had some guys not really pushed up and some guys in the back on the attack. So I'm wondering if they just got it right back. I mean, that defense was pretty spot on. Good angles. So I'm interested to see what happens now on this new OBJ.
Yeah, it's really coming down to Cold Steel's coordination versus Los Sobros' unpredictability. I think those are the two key factors for both of these teams, and I think that's what's being highlighted here. Who can bring their strengths to the table more than the other team?
Does look like we're going to be hopping in. Man, I could really go for some cucumber juice, though. Did you know they added COVID signs in Subway?
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting input, but let's go ahead and make sure we're hopping into the gameplay view. Don't want to leave that scoreboard up now that we've been raided. We want to make sure everybody catches all of the action here today. As we hop into round number 5.
Match point.
Yes,
And
this
series
is
point, too.
the deciding map here. Could be match point if Cold Steel take
like-
this.
Yeah, looks like there's going to be a 2-2-1 push with Jerp and Doctor on the tunnels push and Ninx and Shrieking on that overpass. And Subler just kind of in the back. I don't know what he's out. I think Subler might be having some problems. He's doing a
Herb
little bit of a
getting
dance in the back.
aggressive. Looking for an expediter there in the back of the tunnel. Oh, and Ninx with a great swing onto Big Daddy. It's going to be an awkward replay, but we are going to get it. Jerp looking for expediter now. The pre-fire just suppressing him.
Expediter can shut this down, but does look like he's going to be rotating around. Shrieking
picks up
finds
the
a really
neighbor.
good. Yeah, he's not in the greatest spot. Not a lot of cover. A lot of places you can get picked off from.
And Bone picks up the Doctor near objective now. Over in the south, Jerp picking up expediter finally. That's going to open up the cap. If Los Sobros doesn't react to this, this could be a cap. Oh, Executioner's actually watching it from the yellow room, but he looks away at just the wrong moment. Oh, but he looks back and Jerp gets picked off. Now down to a 3v2. Shrieking Geek going to be the next one to contest the objective.
I mean, he's looking for that pick onto Executioner, but Boned is going to be peeking right over top of him. He can't really raise his head, but now Ninx gets a pick onto Boned, bringing it down to Executioner. Shrieking knows exactly where he is.
This is the 1v3 to end the map, and it does. Shrieking
With
Geek
the
getting the
iron
pick
sights,
under,
too.
yeah, under the bench. Cold Steel taking map number 3, 4-1. A beautiful show of force.
Look at the leaderboard right now. 9-4. Jerp up with 9 kills. Ninx with 6.
Boned
Boned
with
with
8. Wow,
I
some
mean-
heavy kill lines coming out here. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you were voting for, Cold Steel coming out on top here. Gonna hit the connoisseurs hard, as I believe, like I said, Los Sobros was the favored pick here.
Definitely.
Wow.
You know, usually I just go for like whoever the majority vote is.
Yeah, whoever everybody else votes for. But I mean, man, they played their hearts out here today, and that's the action you want to see out of these Onward casts. But unfortunately, that is coming to a close now. All 3 VRML channels now signing off here. Thank you all for joining us here tonight, and hopefully we can get more of these casts going on tomorrow. And hopefully we can catch you all there. See y'all next time.
See ya.